One of the keys to writing a descriptive essay is to create a picture in your reader's mind by engaging all 5 of their senses. In the body paragraph, you need to focus on a specific topic. Our topic is Tokyo, the capital city of Japan. Then make a list of the things you're going to describe. In our session today, we're going to focus on the description of the streets. Your body paragraph must include many things that will help you describe the features you have chosen or mentioned in the introduction. First, use the spatial order. Spatial order helps your readers visualize the scene and shows the things as they appear when observed. Use adjectives to make your description powerful. Use words and expressions related to the 5 senses: hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, and feeling. Employ the 5 senses to engage your reader's interest and bring them into the place you're describing. Use vivid words and expressions to bring it to life. Use mental image. Mental image is a mental picture, not real or present, that is produced by the imagination. We use mental image or imagery to visualize the scene. And finally, don't forget to use figures of speech. Figures of speech are used to enhance your creation and to bring life to what you're describing. Some examples of figures of speech are similes, metaphors, and personifications. In the first part of the body paragraph, you're going to describe streets and billboards. When describing streets and billboards, you can say, the streets are filled with interesting architecture. Here we're describing what we can see in the streets, interesting architecture. In the morning, the streets are a place to take in simple pleasures like street signs. This is what we can see. Beautiful gardens. This is also what we can see. And varied restaurants serving delicious food. So this is what we can eat. This is the sense of taste. The back streets are surprisingly calm and quiet. This is related to the sense of sound or hearing. Despite their close proximity to the bustling city center, crowded with hundreds of people scattered here and there, this is what we can see. So this is related to the sense of sight. Staring out of a hotel window in Tokyo, the visitor's eye can be caught by oversized digital displays. These are the billboards, crowning the top of undersized skyscrapers. One can easily get distracted by the giant, the huge, the big, colorful billboards. This is an example of a simile used to describe the streets and how they're busy and noisy. The streets are as noisy as a flock of crow blackbirds in the migration season. And this is an example of a metaphor used to describe the streets of Tokyo that are examples of man-made canyons. In the first part of your body paragraph, I also want you to describe traffic lights. Now, when describing traffic lights, you can say, when the light is red, one can hear a dozen conversations. This is what we can hear. Taxis honking and buses grunting. This is a simile used to describe traffic lights. Traffic lights look like stars that sparkle with vitality. You can also describe crossroads. When describing the crossroads, you can say a major crossroad mediates the hustling street. The nearby crossroad is filled with passers-by who hastily run to reach their destinations. And finally, you can describe the crowds. You can say crowds of people move with ease in the streets to describe the crowds of people. There are very few secluded squares where the night makes a weird sound of its own stillness. Here we have the description of the sound of the night that is weird with its own stillness. At night, colors, smells, and music ooze from everywhere. Crowds in the streets are like young ravens in the nest. It's a simile. We're comparing the crowds of people in the streets to young ravens in their nest. And here is an example of a metaphor. There is a hive of activity in the crowded streets. And now don't forget to use spatial order words to locate the objects you're describing in the streets. Between, on top of, behind, far from, next to, in mid-air, directly below, amid, across from. Use adjectives and adverbs to give a vivid image of the place you're describing. Adjectives and adverbs help your readers get a full picture of the things you're writing about. You can use bustling and boisterous to describe the streets, fascinating scene, modern city, powerful music, colorful billboards, fresh air, fresh food, rich, hastily, the pedestrians move hastily, the traffic lights shine brightly, vividly, and so on. Don't forget to use transitional words to connect your ideas. You can use however, although, in addition to, besides, on the other hand, after that, furthermore, and next to these. Never use I, you, we in the body. The subject is always what you are describing or talking about. If you get stuck, use subjects as tourists. Tourists can read thousands of attractive ads about the entertainment venues and assorted activities. Visitors. Visitors enjoy wandering in the majestic malls. Residents. Residents can hear the powerful music from miles away. Travelers. A swarm of travelers rush into the exquisite shops. Sightseers. Sightseers are aware that Tokyo's nights and days are not very different. Citizens. Citizens can see the sidewalks shining with bright colors. Pedestrians walk past each other in a flurry. So use the subjects tourists, visitors, residents, travelers, sightseers, citizens, pedestrians instead of the subjects I, you, or we. Always remember that there are 3 ways of describing a place using spatial order. You can start from top to bottom, or vice versa, from bottom to top, from far to near, or from near to far, from left to right, or from right to left. Decide how you're going to describe the place before you actually start.